Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Gruber Wired. I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and hello once again. And we have a special guest with us,
We sure do.
today. Mike, how are you?
Good. Mike Tribolet. So nice to meet everyone. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes,
welcome.
we're glad you're here. And why are you here?
It's a great question. To be or not to be? No, I found an opportunity here, and I really like it. Obviously, being in networking for almost 25 years now, cabling's kind of important.
Sure.
Makes the world go around.
So Mike joined the Gruber family and is in our account manager
Correct.
team. Mm-hmm. And so we're excited to have you.
Yeah, well, before we get into his experiences, because he's got Superman. A lot behind him here, we talked a while back about technology and of the past, right, on our show. And one of the things we brought up were video discs.
Right.
Just so happens recently I came across these beauties here. This happens to be the RCA video disc of the movie Superman 2.
Very cool.
You know, so these are kind of just a relic of the past, right?
Absolutely.
I actually took one out to show everybody here. So inside these cases, looks like, an old, album, right?
The laser disc.
Yeah, but it's actual laser disc. These hold up to 60 minutes of data on them.
On each side.
Yep, on each side. And this particular movie, Superman 2, takes 2 of these discs to play the entire movie.
Wow.
So you can imagine you had yourself a nice little, break, matinee in between, putting the discs in.
Yeah,
and
change it out.
But if you want to pull up that picture there for us. So what we're going to do is we want to give these away and have a little fun with this. So we came up with a Superman trivia game here. And what we'll do is if you want to go ahead and respond to these questions on wired@gruber.com, send us an email. And for all those that do, we are going to put your name in a hat and next week's episode, pull a name out.
Right.
And then we'll let you know who won and we'll send these off to you.
Right.
So
we're going to have 2 winners, right? Because there's 2 of them.
Oh, it's actually identical. It's 2 discs is the one movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4 discs. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So, the way it's set up. So,
okay,
so
very cool.
You want to read the questions there?
Yeah. So, question number 1, what does RCA stand for? Question number 2, what year did RCA first release the video disc system to the public? Question 3, the actor who played General Zod in Superman 2 recently passed away. What was the actor's name? Question 4, who played Lex Luthor in Superman 2?
Yeah, so have a little fun. If you know some of those answers, feel free to shoot us an email and let us know. And we'll go ahead and draw some names next week.
Yeah, drop us an email and we'll put you in the hopper.
Yeah, so wow, exciting, fun, huh?
You always make it interesting, John.
I bet I do.
You really do. There's never a dull moment.
Well, I'm kind of like, Matthew McConaughey. I'm all right.
All right.
See?
He wasn't all right after that Ohio State game.
No,
he
was not.
And it is football season, too. We're ready to go. Tonight's the first game of the NFL season.
Yeah, we got the Cowboys and Eagles playing tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Go Cowboys.
Can both of them lose?
Yeah, right? Don't you wish? So anyway, speaking of things from the past, I mean, one thing that Mike brings to the table is your education, your experience over the years, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So why don't we kind of get in a little bit of that and what brings you, to be the Michael today?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of background.
Okay.
So my career began providing mainframe connectivity for companies like Swiss Air, De Beers Diamond Mines, BMW. So we would connect these massive networks. So we learned how to scale systems. We were the 3270 cluster controllers in front of mainframes. So that's what brought that all together. Then I got a call from a buddy, and he said, hey, we want to push voice through the internet. And we created a company called DialPad in Silicon Valley, went through all the venture rounds, built it up to 1 million customers making calls PC to phone. That became part of Yahoo, which became Yahoo Voice. Then got recruited out to go to Vonage, which was a complete phone replacement for the systems running full operations. We went from 0 to 1 million customers in 4 years, and in 0 to basically $1 billion of revenue annually. Raised $1 billion through the venture fund, and then it recently sold to Ericsson for $6.2 billion.
Wow.
Then got recruited out to go to Europe. So even though I've run worldwide operations, it was the first time I actually sat in the theater over in Europe. Ran a CLEC that provided services from broadband to cell phones to actually landline. One horrible night, I get a call as a CEO, and the ether alarm went off in a pig farm, and that it broke, and so when the ether happened, it ended up killing all the pigs.
Oh.
So that was a fun call. First time I've ever been served because of the law in Europe. You get served by a police officer, so that was no fun.
No.
But at the end of the day, got recruited out, came back to another company called Magic Jack. They were a little device you plugged in, made calls, and then ended up in Brooklyn building an IPTV company that would push voice, video, everything through the internet. And then Brooklyn was fun for a minute, as they say. Then I came back here to Phoenix, where I was born and raised, went to high school, ASU and everything. So
Wow, what high school did you go to out here?
Brophy. So
Brophy, okay.
Brophy, yeah.
Right,
so
right. Yeah.
I was the first third generation. My grandfather was class of 32. My dad was class of 58. I was class of 86. And I had two daughters, so they ended up at Xavier. So we've had four generations go through.
Rooted here pretty well.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to root, and you got to go for ASU, and
Exactly.
pick your team, hook 'em horns, or whatever you want to call them.
Wow, so quite an adventure, I would say.
Yeah, it's there's never been a dull moment in my life, so to speak. It's just how fast can you run and put your hair on fire, and obviously I've lost all my hair, so
You don't have to worry about that.
yeah, I'm good. I'm golden.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit more about some of these individual companies and
Sure.
what you did there per se.
Yeah, so at the very first, at the beginning, I was learning how to connect computers, and at that time, there were no, one simple product that could have multi-connections. So we were having to cherry rig, so to speak, these cluster controllers for Swiss Air and De Beers Diamond Mines, and we've made a really great solution. And then from there, that scalability allowed me to understand the voice over IP environment. So when I went to California, they couldn't have more than, as an example, like 25 calls on a gateway. A gateway's $50,000, so you can do the math.
Yeah,
So
wow.
yeah. So we learned how to then push everything through a soft switch, and that was basically a software we wrote. And that allowed us to kind of interact in front of the gateway
Right.
in this virtual environment, and then push it through the gateway to make the actual connection. So, and then Vonage was a whole, that was a quagmire, so to speak, because we were replacing the service. But the hard part about replacing phone service, you have to provide 911.
Mm-hmm.
So now we were the first to interconnect with the 911 system, so that you could also, because we knew where the computer was, we could actually pinpoint. So we were actually a little more accurate than 911 to do that. So
Good. Yeah. I mean, VoIP has been an interesting thing. I know in a previous life. So we're talking about the early 2000s, 2001. We had like a Nortel switch.
oh, sure.
And we had a pipe, T3 that was on the backbone. So it was like a private T3 between here and Atlanta, and an office in Atlanta. And then we just used our Nortel switch here, and all the connectivity was VoIP to the switch.
Okay.
Between Atlanta and Phoenix or Scottsdale, and then between the desk units, and ran little terminal emulators, things like that, Capios, all that. So I've always been fascinated with that, because with that we were able to actually have work from home people back in 2000, and we'd put a little Nortel device in their home, and that would tunnel in, and they would be able to actually connect their computer to that and do everything voice and data just over that connectivity back in 2000. Which not many people were doing that.
No,
back
I'm
then.
sure not. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. So it's something that's near and dear to my heart, is the ability to kind of take your work with you, instead of being necessarily planted in one place, and it's expanded what business can do.
100%.
I had Vonage at one point too, which
Thank
was
you.
nice. Yeah. I did.
Thank you.
And You know, I had fired, you know, I don't know if it was AT&T. It wasn't. It was US West
US
at the
West.
time, or Quest, whatever they were. I was like, I just got tired of them. So I hooked up Cox Internet and got Vonage and was like, yeah, this is how it's going to be for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It was before the cell phones followed us everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and we've been, and some of the fun stories were AT&T wanted to buy Vonage, and so
Really?
we had to do the pimp move, so to speak. Our chairman had a Sikorsky helicopter, so we had to get clearance. We landed at AT&T's campus, and Dorman's the chairman, and Dorman is sitting across the table. It's about 30 feet, and we're sitting there at the other end, and a piece of paper comes across, and we're like, oh no, what is this? Here comes the next lawsuit. We open it up, and it's an offer to buy us.
Right.
So
Oh,
our
wow.
chairman,
Yeah.
who was Jeff Citron, he was a billionaire as well. I didn't know what he was going to do, but he just grabbed a piece of paper, crunched it up, and threw it back at him. And I went, oh no, this is going to be a long, because it's cooperation in telecom. So we were
Right.
using AT&T circuits. Imagine after the meeting how they went down. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
So they could play with you at a switch. So
Sure. Cooperation. I caught that.
Yeah.
Cooperative
Competition.
competition.
It's how it
Nice.
works.
Yep.
Hey, we have a few comments up there. Highlander. Well, somebody from Phoenix who actually was born there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then he says, I could definitely share a Guinness with this guy.
Amen. Where at? I'm good.
And of course, he says, hi, Pete and gang. So thank you, Highlander. We appreciate you commenting.
That's it. And if you're watching us live, please feel free to throw questions up. If you're watching on stream later, send us emails at wired@gruber.com and we'll reply.
Yeah. So you had mentioned that you've had quite a worldly experience traveling the globe.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, I imagine you've run into different types of technology around the world.
Yeah.
And how is I mean, what are those experiences? How was it integrated?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is getting things to basically cooperate with one another, and that's difficult because
Yeah.
in Europe you've got E1s, here you've got T1s. These are the interconnects to the phone system, but a lot of the gear is manufactured for the U.S. But when you take that over to Europe, you now have to get these special interfaces. And at the beginning in Voice over IP, they didn't exist, so we had to cherry rig a lot of things and act like, emulate the connection in between to make a E1 work with a T1 and then make a T1 work with an E1. So that's the first thing. The second thing, you get code, because code is code.
Yeah.
But again, now you've got a group, let's say from India, working with a group from California that's working with a group from Japan. You've got interpersonal skills that are, one, a dynamic, and then two, getting them to share the code together and then compile it. And so there were a lot of bridges, so to speak, you had to build to interconnect with them. So, and again, the language barrier and those things. So it's always a challenge, but once you get to that level of success, can just elevate everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Fun stuff.
Oh, there
we
we
got
go.
some- so
So
we
we got a
got
picture of you in the queue there.
Me and there's my donkey. So that's in San Miguel de Allende. That's my father. You can see we got the same haircut in the background. So that's typical where they live. It's a village, but it's a great location where they're at.
Where is that?
That's in San Miguel de Allende in Mexico.
Okay.
Right in the middle of the country. It's a Condé Nast international award for, where a lot of expats live. So there's probably of 1 million people, I'd say about 400,000 are expats.
Oh,
Wow.
So yeah, my parents retired there and get
Money
to visit.
goes a little farther there too. I bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what would be here 1 million might be 100 to 200,000 as an example.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it really
Really?
stretches.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have a lot of the food and the resources there are natural. So they are all organic and cattle are there and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
so not a
yeah.
lot of imports.
No, very few. Very few. But they do have a Starbucks. So imagine that area and then a Starbucks around the corner.
Really? So you
Starbucks is everywhere though.
Yeah, Starbucks, they kind of ruin it all. But you can go get your mocha frappuccino there, and it tastes just the same.
The beans don't have to travel as far, though.
No. And the food in that region is fantastic.
Yeah. I bet.
What was Highlander saying there?
My cousin Buchanan in Mexico at Ski Factory called a license to print money. We got to get the two of you together for lunch, Highlander.
Tequila and mezcal.
Mezcal.
Absolutely. I will be at that lunch. We can all go.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's the funny thing is right when we created Vonage was when Red Bull came out.
Oh, really?
So we
Okay.
literally were bussing that stuff in because everyone was just on it. So everyone was loopy, by about 10
I can
o'clock at
imagine
night.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but that's how we make the breakthroughs. You just kind of, you get your mind loose and then you just keep writing code.
That's it.
So,
Wow.
Awesome.
So, yeah, technology has changed dramatically
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's your perspective on that?
it's funny. The flip phone's back. We all remember the
right.
clamshells, and now Samsung's made it. And I think the DSP chipsets that are in these devices now, there's more computing power here. So I think also they're getting to the point where it's going to replace your laptop. So you're just going to sit in front of a monitor, have a monitor up, and you can have a wireless keyboard.
Right.
So they even have the ones that are optical, where you don't even need the
Right.
physical keyboard. It's optical. And I think that it's where your banking's done. It's now where your shopping's done. It's really geared towards the consumer. And I think the younger generation today, they're using it in different ways with social media. And I think the educational system has got to quickly adapt to this because the attention span of kids today is very short and limited because this takes their whole
Attention away.
attention
Yeah.
away.
Well,
Sure.
it's everywhere. Where you look,
Yeah.
someone's got a phone in their hand. I mean, you can't
100%.
avoid it. Even driving down the road, and it's
Right.
illegal to drive and be on your phone.
Yeah.
But yet, every time I turn around, somebody's on their phone driving, smoking a cigarette, holding a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah, and with AI coming along too, AI is really going to drive that next level of interaction.
And I totally applaud the schools that have taken the phones out and
Yeah.
they black bag them now.
Yeah.
Because and I think learning, they can have tech in the classroom and that's productive.
Mm-hmm.
But this, while everything is going around,
It's
is so distracting. Yeah.
Yeah, and the smartwatches are getting smarter, so to
Yeah.
speak. They're now to a point where you now can give that AI command. So,
Right.
But getting them out of the hands of the kids when they're in class, I think that's important because you can learn all day here, but it doesn't stick because you're so used to
Right.
this device doing it.
Well, yeah, I use the analogy, before there was, Garmin and all of that, when I'd fly to a city to go visit a client, I would have a printout from MapQuest, right? And by me driving as opposed to following directions, I knew my way around a whole lot quicker than when the Garmin's came out or whatever, and I'd follow GPS, I wouldn't know where I was because I was just following the turn by turn. But by deciphering a map or by looking at it and actually having to pay attention to street signs and all that, not turn here but turn at instead, your awareness is so much keener as to where you're at. So I think it's a huge thing for tech to have its place, but learning happens a very
important.
specific way. And
Because batteries die.
Right.
When the battery
Yeah.
dies, what do you do?
right, I mean, how many
They
phone
start
numbers?
freaking out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see happen.
I mean, if somebody took your phone and handed you just a empty phone, how many people could you dial?
Oh yeah. None.
Right.
None.
It's funny you say that because I can still remember my phone number from when I was a child, my grandmother's phone number.
I'm talking about now, though.
I know, but
Yeah.
today, I don't know my wife's phone number.
Yeah.
She's number one on my, just tell it, number one, boom, here's my wife.
Yep.
I haven't, So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that progress is bad. I'm just saying that there's a certain laziness that takes that's why AI, it's great, but if you lose your writing chops, you don't get that
Well,
back.
we have
right?
to
I mean,
understand and learn that AI is going to be a tool that
Yeah,
we
right.
have to use versus AI using us.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, it's the way you like say you have to look at it.
Well, and think about this industry that, Gruber's in, the automotive industry. What's
Yeah.
happening now? You can get in the Waymo to now the cars can drive themselves.
Yeah.
And it's really not the computers that have to adapt, it's the humans that have to adapt. And
I
I think
agree.
that, these accidents, you look at them and it's usually a distracted driver.
Right.
Or things like that where they just, have horrible accidents because they're not paying attention.
right.
We have some more comments up there to catch up on. Highlander says, what does your guest think of bringing middle school and high school students into skilled trades or vocational schools versus college?
I think it's a good idea because a lot of times people just go through school just aimlessly. And when you go through aimlessly, yeah, you get the degree, you get the certificate, but you have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the trade schools can help people have better, people skills, but also understand process. I think that's what kids sometimes need, that structure. And that's what helped me build the structure. I didn't just sidestep that to understand what that means is I ran track for the University of Kansas. I was a half-miler. Now, I know if I didn't go out and run 10 miles in the morning and 10 miles at night, when I met up with Nebraska, they would just run circles around me. So, you learn through those processes. And, I think that's something that's got to be instilled. And,
And I think that's a great question, Highlander, because
Yeah.
here, so where Gruber actually is, we're in the Deer Valley Unified School District,
Yeah.
and they have 58 different programs for vocational training. And Maricopa County has an amazing trade program in West Mech. So it's called one of them called West Mech. There's EVIT, and the focus is exactly that, which is to for people who want to just get out of school and get into a well-paying trade. The path is laid out, and I think it's a great it's a great setup here. This school district especially excels in that arena. They have a great reputation for.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the school and the educational systems being able to be very adaptive to this.
Right.
Yeah.
And rather quickly, too. My brother, who teaches high school up in the state of Washington, recently worked to develop a whole new trade school program.
Yeah.
And we were talking a multi-million-dollar facility just for a high school
Right.
to be able to say, listen, we can train you in some trades, give you the education to get you out there.
Right.
Versus, go through and hope you go to college, try to get yourself a scholarship.
Yeah.
I mean, so the versatility of the school districts to be able to understand how to take and adapt this has been great. Great response.
Right. Going to college just for the sake of going to college is not really a wise move, and the debt burden that they have to carry as a result of it follows. And if you don't pick wisely, if you pick major in French, 18th century French poetry, then you're kind of pigeonholing yourself on how many openings there are going to be when you get out on what you can actually do.
Yeah, but you could be a barista at Starbucks.
Well, yeah, and that was the dig for a long time. There was always this push to go to college, and some people don't need to do that. I think we did there was a big disservice for a long time to some people who really wanted to just get out and be productive, and they were kind of psychologically pushed into doing something, and then they end up with this student loan debt, and they're wondering what the heck, why, I thought there were going to be jobs, and there's nothing, and
just like
Yeah, what do I
robots.
do?
yeah.
That's more comments popping up there today. What does Erica say? Everything is instant these days.
Yep.
Good old Fifth Element chicken good. Instant gratification. Amazon pushed True one day to our doors, and COVID opened up so many different avenues. Yeah, true. Janie says, nice job, team. She says, I had a big Atlas book. I think we all had the Atlas books,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And maps.
Yeah.
Remember the map books that would open up and be
with the
quadrants?
grids and
Oh, I remember several times out on the hood of the car.
Yeah. Well, you had to figure it out. Or if you were a member of AAA, you would get a triptych.
Yeah.
Right. You could You know, call them and say, hey, I'm going from here to here.
Yeah.
And they would actually email you a booklet of little cutouts of the maps with it highlighted.
Oh, yeah.
Your route highlighted on there. And you didn't have to see all the other parts of the map. You just had to see page to page, which was really cool.
That was
right?
smart.
Yeah.
You got a comment, Cass?
MapQuest.
MapQuest, yeah.
Yes.
We did that
Absolutely.
a lot because we used to do a bunch of road trips back in the day, and every time I sat passenger, I had to hold MapQuest and tell my dad where to go.
Erica says the average human attention span as of 2025 is 3 seconds. If you have a super narrow amount of time to get to the attention, I'll need to shoot our shot.
100%. And
Yeah.
that's one thing we learned going back to the bondage days. We had 30 seconds to convince a customer to buy or not.
That was it?
So yeah, at 30
Wow.
seconds, you have, Vonage, the brand, $29.99 the price, unlimited calling. So that we had to communicate $200 million worth of time over, but we saw growth because the attention span is just, it's
You
small.
capture it, sure.
Yeah. So it's a key thing to branding.
Well, I know we're producing right now a series with the Maricopa County Republican Party with these 1-minute videos that are essentially they're called The Making of America, and it's actually from this Hollywood producer who produces audio segments for radio, right? And they wanted to incorporate this and send it out via email. And I said, well, why don't we let AI take the audio and let's make video out of it instead? And so now we put out every Saturday I email our mail list of all of the people involved, these 1-minute snippets, and it's made it all the way back east, and people are really commenting on, because it's simple, it's
just-
easy,
yeah.
it's not, there's not a hey, give me money kind of thing behind it. It's just informative, and that's the attention span that we're dealing with. We have shorts on YouTube. There's the TikTok, minute or less, get your idea across kind of stuff. And if they're not interested, I mean, how quick do you swipe, right?
Yeah.
If you look
Yeah.
at it and you go,
Yeah.
yeah, no, okay, I'll stay there. It's
Sure.
just how do you capture that attention?
That's a good point. I mean, 3 seconds is it's not very much time,
No.
but it depends on your perspective. I mean, 3 seconds in a vehicle traveling 65 miles an hour behind another vehicle, hey, you better have that 3 seconds of space there, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Right.
So can you get that much? I mean, your spots were 30 seconds. And
Yeah.
could you portray that? I mean, obviously they did.
Yeah, we did. We were adding, anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 customers a day. And then the funny thing too, color. So we tested every kind of color, and blue and orange happened to, with those short messages, it was it, and that's where our
Right.
color came from. We had no color. We were really literally like black and white. And then all of a sudden we added the color to it, and they flew off the shelf, so to
Sure.
speak. So
Sure, it was kind of like a cream orange, wasn't
yeah,
it? Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost like creamsicle color, you know?
Okay, can you scroll?
Yeah, there is a couple of Highlander comments that he told me not to read, so you
Okay,
can
then we
skip
won't
read
those.
a couple of them.
That's okay.
So it's give me a second. It's this one and that one. He wants to skip over. So these ones are good.
Okay, so Highlander says, hi, Janie. And Highlander, Mark, please put me on that list. Jesse has my email. Yeah, so you know what? These half-hour segments go by so fast. We say it
Wow.
every week because you get talking and it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
boom, so fast. Anything that really you wanted to get to in the next couple minutes, or just portray to people maybe some simple advice from the careers that you've had, and I say careers because
Yeah.
you've had what appears to be many
Yeah.
Right.
over time.
Yeah, I think that, as we always say, make the impossible possible.
Right.
And that to make that happen, you have to believe every day, especially when you're told no 5, 6, 7 times, or it's impossible. You just got to keep pushing through, because if you believe in your heart and in your mind, it'll eventually happen.
Right.
So destiny, you can create destiny, and you can then push through it to get there if it's not happening.
Sure. I mean, we're in a Me Too business, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's it's a great place to be if you can distinguish yourself, right?
Yes.
And I think Gruber Service does that. I think we stand behind what we do. We are accessible to our customers,
Yep.
receptive to to their feedback and really try and exceed expectations as we go down the road, because that's really the only thing that can set us apart. Fiber's fiber. I mean, at the end of the day, copper's copper. I mean, we there's some secret sauce and special sauce to what we do, but really it's the people and the attitude. And I think
it's very professional and the quality of work, because I don't hear the phones blowing up like this didn't work or this order didn't come through. You're a moron. All the things that happen with uptight customers. So I've seen a high level of satisfaction from the customer base just being here in the short period of time. So
well, that's one of the innovations Pete had was being the first in this industry to offer a lifetime guarantee.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he made other suppliers come to the table on that when people were questioning them about it, because really, I mean, the product is sturdy and reliable, and unless you're going to abuse it, then it's going to last.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, something you just touched on, I just want to comment really quick, was the laws of attraction, and to manifest that positivity, like you were saying, to believe in yourself, to keep it there and keep it steady, holding that true course. It manifests other positive scenarios within not only your work life, your career life, but within your personal life as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the same goes for negative people. If you're going to have that negative kind of vibe going on, guess what? It sucks to you. Mark knows this. About 3 weeks ago, I was just going through a rough period of time, and I was just completely negative. And I was just telling people, I got to turn this around. I had to change my perspective. I had to take a time out for a moment, per se, because it happens. We all get in that little bit of a rut, and then sometimes it just takes you on and takes on a different direction. But like you were saying, though, stay keeping that positive and just staying up on that vibe.
Right, absolutely. And that's why you surround yourself with good people, because it's this Napoleon Hill Mastermind Alliance, right?
Yeah.
You doesn't necessarily need to be physical people for it to be people around you, but surrounding yourself with that kind of support system is huge. And I think we have a great support system on our sales floor, and we have a lot of fun. I mean, I'm sure you walked into it and like, what are these clowns up to?
When we're throwing some stuff at each other, having a little bit of fun.
It's good. It's good building camaraderie.
Right. So. And so it just shows that we mesh, and there isn't really anybody that's out there for it's a we type of floor.
Sure.
And if one guy can't figure it out, we workshop it. We workshop a lot of stuff just because, you don't need credit for it to get the win, right? Yeah. It's all about the team. And I that's one thing that's kept me here, and something I very much appreciate about Gruber. And
yeah, I do as well. It's nice. It's a good feeling.
Oh yeah, and everyone's been helpful. I mean, I'm still drinking from a fire hose right now.
Sure.
But everyone's been helpful. If I have a question, I get it answered. It's a great environment, and look, everyone wants to help everyone succeed, so everyone uplifts everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, but I've learned that after, because I've been here 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
That I'm still learning a lot. All the time. There aren't, weeks that go by that I'm not exposed to something, because technology is moving.
Yeah.
And so you can think you can know it, but be gone for a week and then something new comes out.
And here's the problem. If you stop learning,
you're done.
You're done. You're toast. That's it. It's over. You have to continuously learn. I don't care what ever aspect it is that you're going through in life. You constantly have to have that attitude and that desire to continue learning.
And in the bonnet, we used to say, "Innovate or die," and that was our motto.
Yeah.
Just charge the hill, don't look back, and you'll get over the top.
Somebody's going to think of it. If you don't,
So
right?
true.
Somebody will.
Yep.
Hey, Highlander, everyone to remember that kindness is always free. Thank you for that, Highlander. We do appreciate that.
My mom taught me kindness is courtesy.
So yeah, wow, another podcast down here.
Yeah,
it goes so fast. I just
Oh
go,
my
"What
gosh,
happened?"
that went fast. Yes, it did. Well, everybody, we appreciate you being here today, and I'm sure we'll have you on again real soon.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
anytime.
that'd be
I'm
great.
happy to.
Yeah, we'll get
really
a progress
appreciate it.
report and see.
Yeah, so you gotta get my first sale, and then get over the hill. So to speak.
I don't think that'll take too long.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Hey, don't
So-
forget to answer the questions that we put
Right.
up if you'd like to win a copy of this video disc here.
Right, yeah.
And-
Rewind the replay, and you'll have the list of questions, and email us at wired@gruber.com. So you're going camping.
Yeah,
I'm
take
going to
it
be
off to go
watching
do some
football
camping.
this weekend. What are you doing
Football.
this weekend?
I like watching football.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
got NFL games starting tonight. College football's in full swing.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I know, go
it's
Ducks.
Oh,
You know, got to get my Ducks in
Devils, man.
it's all right, Jayhawks here. So football, we suck. Basketball, that's a different
there. That's
story.
a whole different story.
Yeah,
isn't
whole
it?
There we
different
go.
story.
Oh, thanks, Cass, for throwing the questions back up there. Like, subscribe, share this podcast. We're here because you're here, and we appreciate you joining us every week. It's Thursday, 3 p.m. Arizona time. It's important to note Arizona time because we don't change times.
No, we don't.
Everybody else does, and the time zone's going to switch soon, and or in November, I think. And so, just remember, it's 3 p.m. Arizona time on Thursdays. For now, I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and thank you, Mike, for joining us
thank
today.
you,
Thank you,
Michael.
gentlemen. Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Have a great week.